What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a website called Sight Reading Factory, what it is, how it helps you, and why you should be implementing this into your daily practice routine. So first of all, like the name implies, Sight Reading Factory is a tool. It's actually a AI tool that brings up brand new sheet music with every click. Okay, so you're sight reading something different every single time. Now let's actually back up a little bit and talk about what sight reading is and why it matters. So for those of you who don't know, there is reading music and then there is sight reading music. If you can read music, it means you know what the notes are, you know how they should be played, the duration the notes should be played, all that kind of stuff. And you need to be able to read music to sight read. Sight reading is you open up a brand new thing of sheet music, you look at it for the very first time, you've never seen it before, and you sit down at the piano and immediately try to play it at the correct tempo without any mistakes, and you do it right there on the spot. Okay, so a lot of people, if you play piano, you probably can read music, right? But let's say when you play a brand new piece, you might have to run through the same section a couple times, even though you know what the notes are, right? You might have to take it really slowly. You might have to go through it a few times. You might have to maybe go back and rework certain sections, things like that. Sight reading, the purpose is not to take it slow. It's not to work on technique necessarily. It's not to study the piece you're looking at for music theory or anything like that. The point is just to test how good you can recognize what's on the paper, the notes, where they are, the duration of the notes, the expressions, the articulations. How good can you just read this like a book? You're reading the sheet music instantly, and then you're translating that to your physical movements to actually playing the piece. Okay, and that's what sight reading is. And it's a great skill to have because if you think about it, sheet music is everywhere, right? You can pretty much get any sheet music for any single song. It doesn't matter if it's classic music, it doesn't matter if it's country, if it's rock and roll, if it's pop, it doesn't matter. Sheet music you can get pretty much anywhere, a lot of times even for free. So if you're really, really good at sight reading, then you can get that sheet music for any song in the world and you can sit down and you can immediately play it. So if you have the actual skills to play the piece, like the physical movements down to be able to play it, and you're really good at sight reading, you can play pretty much any piece on demand like that. Of course, for the extreme pieces, like some classical pieces like La Campanella or Moonlight Sonata Third Movement, even if you can read, if you can sight read really well, it's going to take you time to get good at those pieces, right? Because they're so complex. But if you look at any modern song, if you're really good at playing the piano technique-wise, physically, and you can sight read really well, you're going to be able to play all the popular songs immediately. Okay, so that's kind of what sight reading is. That's the benefit of it. Why you should practice it. Let's get into a little bit about Sight Reading Factory, the website. So first of all, this is not an affiliate. I'm not getting paid to say this. It's not an advertisement, nothing like that. I use it personally. I pay for it. It's extremely cheap. When I paid for it, it was 20 bucks for a year. Okay, so 20 bucks buys you a year access to, again, it's called Sight Reading Factory. And the really good thing about it is it's so customizable to your specific level. Okay, so when you get in there, you will pick what instrument. So it has different instruments as well. It doesn't really matter in this case though, since we all play piano. So you'll click the piano. You're going to click the level that you want it in. So it has 10 different levels, okay? First level is just, I think, one hand. Second level is with two hands very easily. Third level is like you're both hands together, but you're just in the same position. You're not really moving around. And then fourth level, it has a little bit dynamics, a little bit rhythm, more difficult rhythms like eighth notes and dotted quarter notes, things like that. And it just gets progressively harder. And you can customize pretty much anything. So you can customize the tempo. You can customize what key you're playing in, all major keys, all the minor keys. You can customize how many bars you want to read. So if you just want to try to sight read 2 bars, if you want to try to sight read 4 or 5 bars, whatever, it doesn't matter. Again, you can customize the difficulty level. You can customize whether you want a metronome in the background, whether you want something else. It's so systematically done is what's so good about it. It's so systematically done. You can really work your way up through the different levels, through all the different keys, and you become really good at sight reading pretty quickly if you're really dedicating time to this, okay? So I sight read 6 days a week. I practice 7 days a week. I sight read 6. I just do 10 minutes a day and then 20 minutes of more technique work like scales, arpeggios, things like that. So 30 minutes total where I'm doing technique slash sight reading. And 10 minutes is fine if you're just sight reading 10 minutes a day. That's plenty of time. That's all you need really. And you can use this website. And again, it's perfect because you can literally start on C major if you've never done this before, all the white notes. Start on C major, put the tempo to 50 beats per minute, start on level 1, and just try to sight read it. And once you feel comfortable with that, maybe you try to bump up the tempo a little bit, maybe you try to change keys, you try to up the difficulty level. What I would say, and what I do personally, is I have a whole spreadsheet where I work on one key per week. Okay, so for example, week 1 of the month, I'll start in C major. I'll pick the level that I'm working at right now. I'll pick a slow tempo, maybe 50 beats per minute, 60 beats per minute, and I'll do sight read that one key for 10 minutes a day for the whole week. And if I feel comfortable, I'll up the tempo. If I'm feeling really comfortable, maybe I'll up the difficulty level itself. Maybe I'll add some measures to see how long I can sight read this for. But at the end of the week, so mine would be on Saturday would be the last day I do it. I'll go into the spreadsheet and I'll just type like a sentence maybe or a comment, or you can put in like different levels. So let's say you can put in a number 3 in the spreadsheet if you felt really good, 2 if you felt okay, and 1 if you felt terrible about it. Okay, so you can kind of track yourself, how you felt about how the sight reading went in the key. So I would put the key down, I would put what level you worked on, and I would put the tempo. So those 3 things, the key you worked on, the tempo you finished at, and the difficulty that you finished at. And at the end of the week, you want to kind of grade yourself, give yourself a rating of how comfortable you felt sight reading in that key. And no matter what, if you felt great about it, awesome. If you felt terrible about that key, sight reading, doesn't matter, go on to the next key. So if you start in C major, you can go to G major or F. I go clockwise around the circle of fifths, so I went to G major. And you do the same thing. You pick the same difficulty level, start slow tempo again, and you're in that different key. You're in G major now. And do the same thing. Sight read every day, 10 minutes just in that key. At the end of the week, grade yourself 1, 2, or 3, or however you want to do that. And write a comment about how you did, how you felt about it, and then move on to the next key. When you're doing this, when you're rotating like this every key for every week, you're going to get really good at sight reading, especially when you get to those harder keys. You get to, let's say, B major. You get to, let's say, G flat major, okay? And you're sight reading those keys. When you get back to C major with no sharps and no flats, you're going to be like, damn, this is pretty easy, right? Because you don't have to think as much about what the notes are. You just look at the notes and that's what it is. You don't have to worry about making the A sharp or the A flat. You just play the notes in C major. And all the other keys are going to be a lot easier for you when you're sight reading those. And another thing that you can do here as well is you can kind of stack things. So let's say you're working on A flat major this week. That's the key that you're sight reading. In addition to that, you can use some of your technique time, your technique time to work on maybe the A flat major scale. Okay, maybe you play it contrary motion, then parallel motion, then you play it in thirds. Then you work on your A flat major arpeggios. Okay, maybe one hand, maybe two hand, whatever it is that you can do. And now you're really getting familiar with the specific key that you're in. So you're sight reading the key, you're practicing your scales in that key, you're practicing your arpeggios in that key. You're basically deep diving, fully immersing yourself into that key for 1 week, and then you move on to the next key. And just because you're sight reading A flat major, let's say, it doesn't mean you can't work on arpeggios for other keys. You don't have to do that, but it's another option for you. Okay, just putting that out there in case that's something you're interested in. But definitely with the sight reading, I would just rotate like that every week for the keys. Again, give yourself a comment about how you did, or leave yourself a number rating, however you want to do it, and move on to the next key. You're going to start to notice after you get through this, let's say for a few weeks, your sight reading is going to get a lot better. And it might take you, depending on where you're at, if you're brand new to piano, this is going to be really difficult for you, but it's going to help you so much in the future. And again, it's only $20 per year, and you have unlimited AI sight reading sheet music. It just generates a brand new piece of sheet music for you every single time. So you're sight reading because it's different every single time you click that next button. And again, it's systematic, so you don't have to buy somebody's book that has maybe 200 lines in it or whatever. You can just pay $20 a month and it's unlimited. You can sight read for as much as you want, for as long as you want, in any key that you want, on any level that you want. Okay, so a lot of benefits to it. Again, it's called the Sight Reading Factory. $20 a month, no commission. I'm not getting any money here, no affiliation. I use it myself and it really helps me. So just wanted to share that with all of you guys. Any questions, comments, let me know. Again, my name is Josh LaFleur with Late Start Piano. If you've liked what you heard here, I have a free PDF, 34 Essential Tips for Adult Beginners at the Piano. Everything you need to know to start playing the piano on the right foot and avoid all the pitfalls that a lot of beginners fall into, including me. I made this PDF to help you get over that and avoid wasting time like I did when I first started at 25 years old. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and head over to www.latestartpiano.com. Click on the big bright button in the middle of the page, put in your email address, and you'll instantly get access to this free PDF. Again, it's going to save you a lot of time in the future. It's going to help you avoid mistakes, and it's going to set you on the right path to success for piano. Happy practicing.